Hey, you up? I know there's a heavy connotation to that. It's nothing to do with this. This is fantasy football. We love value, so this is what we do. This is Jared Goff. This is what I want to tell you. You need to plop him into your daily fantasy lineup or to your roster if you're dealing with injuries. And of course you are. You don't have Dak anymore. Is Tua going tonight? Maybe not. Get Goff now. DeAndre Swift is out this week, but Goff is going to have a big chance to have a big day against the Seahawks defense. They're giving up 17.5 fantasy points a game to quarterbacks. Up next, let's go with Rashad Penny. In that same game, take a look at this guy. He went off last game against the Lions last season. He had 185 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns. I know lots have changed, but the Lions are giving up the most fantasy points per game to the running back position this season, and they have the 6th worst rush defense. Do not sleep on Rashad Penny. Man, I would love for him to be like a top 5 running back one of these years. You always pump him up and it never works out. All right, Olave, you know how I feel about him. You know I love him. Mark Ingram's trying to come on the show. Mark Ingram hypes him up. He says he's great. Watch out for him in London this week. Most targets of 20-plus air yards of any players in the league this season. That's right, Kay Adams just said air yards. I've never done it before, but there's a first time for everything. The rookie's been targeted 13 times in each of the last 2 games. That's great volume. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, they're dealing with injuries. The OGs are. So Olave, the youngster, will continue to thrive. And Jameis Winston needs him, though Jameis Winston has a back injury. And that's the first thing I'm asking Mark Ingram. Stay tuned for that. Josh Palmer is next here. Keenan Allen likely returning this week. A lone, I don't want to call it a bright spot, like a glimmer of hope, like a little speck of light in that Chargers locker room. But I like Palmer. He leads the Chargers wide receivers in targets and catches this season. He's going up against the Texans. They've allowed a top 16 fantasy wide receiver in 2 of 3 games this season. Palmer's got at least 13 fantasy points back-to-back, so me thinky, that trendy, continuey, this weeky. All right, Greg Dortch is my last one. I just like seeing the name. Greg Dortch, we like it. D-Hop's still out, and he is, of course, the first 6. I'm a big fan. He's coming off a game where he had 9 catches for 80 yards. He's getting better, trending upwards every game this season. He was on the field for over 80% of Cardinals' offensive snaps last week. Kyler's throwing the ball 47 times per game this season. A.J. Green, banged up. So we like, and Rondale Moore, banged up. So we like this. Greg Dortch is my last sleeper. We don't have a review board, so I will tell you again, Greg Dortch, Josh Palmer, Chris Olave, Rashad Penny, and Jared Goff are some sleepers. Daily fantasy lineups, go to FanDuel, get those done. And I'll do a better job on my touch. I tried to call 3 guys that were going to have a touchdown last week on Sunday. I just woke up and I said, yeah, let's just see. 0 for 3. T. Higgins robbed in the first half of action last week, so maybe he comes to fruition tonight. Who knows? But I'll try to do better on that. But those are some sleepers I feel pretty confident in because 3 weeks, you have information. You're building your case with these defenses and what they're giving up to guys, and especially in the run game into tight end. So I feel good about these choices. Get it going.